Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving into a source that might seem a little unexpected for the deep dive. We have excerpts from something called Easy Business Talk.
Right. And the original purpose of this material is actually to help people learning simple English by talking about business. You might think, okay, how is this a deep dive?
Ah, but here's where it gets really interesting. What's fascinating is how these excerpts, despite their, simple language, cut right to the absolute core of why people start businesses, the fear they face, and the practical first steps. They sort of strip away all the jargon and complex theory.
Exactly. Our mission in this deep dive is to look past the simple language and extract that fundamental wisdom. It's about finding those surprising facts and aha moments about taking the leap into entrepreneurship, even if you already understand the basics of business.
Yeah, we're going to explore the fundamental drivers behind wanting to start your own thing, how this source talks about overcoming the universal hurdle of fear, and the incredibly simple, actionable steps it suggests you can take right now, regardless of your background.
Okay, so let's start with the why. What truly motivates someone to start a business, according to this material?
Well, the characters in these excerpts, Sarah and Raj, they talk about desires we can all relate to, wanting freedom. Specifically, the idea of not having a boss.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
They mentioned working for themselves and, yes, wanting to earn more. These seem to be powerful forces driving people.
And crucially, the source emphasizes the motivation of wanting to follow your passion. It connects the idea of starting a business not just to earning a living, but to doing something you genuinely love. That emotional connection is a huge factor it highlights.
So it's not just logic and money, it's often deeply personal, tied to a passion project. That seems to be a foundational idea they present.
Of course, the source is realistic. It quickly acknowledges that starting isn't effortlessly easy.
Yeah.
It takes time, requires resources, money, and effort are explicitly mentioned.
Right. And this is where it resonates with so many people, the role of fear. Both characters in the excerpts bring it up, very honestly.
Yeah, Raj shares his own experience, admitting he felt nervous starting his business. But that excitement and his dream pushed him forward. It captures that common mix of apprehension and hope.
And Sarah, thinking about her coffee shop dream, voices the classic question that stops so many people. What if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
That fear of failure, that uncertainty, it's a huge barrier.
Mm-hmm. What's powerful here, though, is the source's perspective on fear. It doesn't say ignore it or that brave people aren't scared. It frames fear as part of the process.
Right.
And it offers a simple but crucial reframe on failure itself. That even if things don't work out as planned, failure is a teacher.
That's a core concept, isn't it? Shifting from failure's the end to failure's feedback.
Hmm. And speaking of learning, let's look at Raj's story in more detail because it's a fantastic illustration of the learning by doing philosophy the source seems to endorse.
Okay, yeah. Raj started a handmade soap business using natural ingredients like coconut oil and aloe vera. It's a very tangible product, easy to grasp.
Hmm.
And the key takeaway from Raj's story, repeatedly stressed in the source, is how he learned. He didn't get a business degree. He learned from readily available resources,
Yeah.
YouTube videos, and books.
Right.
He practiced at home and got feedback by giving samples to friends. Just sort of started.
He explicitly states, I didn't study business in college. He just learned step by step. This directly challenges the idea that you need formal education or a perfect plan before you begin.
Exactly. His business grew because he started small and kept learning.
And that growth trajectory, starting minimally and expanding, that's a recurring theme, isn't it? It comes up again with Sarah's aspiration.
Right. Sarah dreams of opening a coffee shop. Her passion for coffee and connecting with people is clear. And she even has relevant experience from working in a coffee shop for 2 years. Useful stuff.
Yet the fear persists for her. And this is where Raj offers the central piece of simple advice from the source. Just take one step.
Just one step. It sounds so simple, but
Well, it begs a question, what does that one step look like, right? For Sarah, the source suggests scaling down the dream initially. Instead of a full brick and mortar shop right away, start small, perhaps with a cart or a pop-up stall.
which mirrors Raj's own successful approach, actually.
Yeah.
It reinforces the idea that the first move doesn't have to be the entire overwhelming final vision. It can be a manageable, scaled down version.
Mm-hmm. And the source material pulls together several simple, actionable tips from their conversation. Think of them as fundamental principles, even for someone familiar with business concepts. They're just phrased very directly.
Okay, like what?
Well, Sarah's tips include start with what you love.
Connects back to passion,
Exactly. Learn from others.
like Raj did with YouTube.
And be kind to customers. Pretty fundamental.
Seems obvious, but always worth repeating.
What about Raj's points?
Raj adds, don't wait too long, just start. That inertia piece.
Get going.
Keep learning every day. Continuous improvement.
Mm-hmm.
And use social media to share your business. Leverage accessible tools. These aren't complex MBA level strategies, are they? They're foundational truths. Leverage passion, seek knowledge, prioritize the customer, overcome inertia, commit to learning, use the tools you have. Simple, but powerful.
Yeah, and the source even touches on fundamental business vocabulary words like business, boss, customer, product, marketing, profit. While these words are simple, they represent the essential building blocks woven throughout their discussion. The core concepts any business, no matter how small, engages with.
Right. So ultimately, the core message from this seemingly simple source is incredibly encouraging and practical. It's quite uplifting, actually.
It summarizes by acknowledging that nervousness is normal. That's okay. It reinforces the power of starting small and stresses the importance of believing in yourself.
It leaves you with phrases that stick, like, if you keep going, you will grow,
Mm-hmm.
and start simple, stay strong.
Yeah, and perhaps the most profound yet simple thought it offers, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to try.
That's really it, isn't it? Just try. So this deep dive into what might appear to be a basic source reveals that timeless wisdom about courage, learning, and action can be found in unexpected places. The lessons about overcoming fear and starting small are relevant whether you're launching, I don't know, a lemonade stand or a tech startup.
Absolutely. So, what does this all mean for you listening? If, as the source suggests, the key to overcoming fear and making progress is just taking one step and starting small, consider this. What is the absolute simplest, smallest, most minimal step you could take today or this week towards an idea that excites you?
Mm.
regardless of how unprepared or fearful you might feel. What is the single most basic action that gets you off the starting line? Just something to think about.